welcome back to the show.
I do say that is an affront to 45C.
All right. I think that's a record for shortest amount of time I needed to bleep something.
I'm sorry. That character. What's his name? Uncle what?
Well, it ain't Uncle Fester.
Uncle Ruckus?
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus. I love that character to death. He's great. He's a fantastic. He's just a fantastic freaking character. So yes, boys, it has been a wild past 2 weeks.
Yes, it is.
It's like getting hit in the face by 2 different fire hoses every day.
Oh yeah, no, but I kind of like that assessment. It really is.
Well, someone's getting hit in the face with fire hoses, and it's not us.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Those people being hit with fire hoses, the fire hoses are blasting out shit. As well.
No. They're blasting out capsaicin pellets.
Okay, before we get started going really, really good, I do got something I want to say. I want to say this to Warhound, and I also want to say this to Miss Keck if she's around. Congratulations, and we'll be praying for you guys tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So we got the current situation with Portland, Chicago, and any number of other places. So I'm sorry. I'm still thinking of that one video of the guy getting sprayed in the air hole of his frog suit. Oh, that was fucking great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Well, that happened a second time with a guy in a Barney suit.
Yes, I did see that as well.
Which is 5 kinds of funny considering what the first Barney got up to.
Yes, it's a morbid comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing too, something that I've noticed over the last couple of nights is a lot of these riots and protests and stuff. They seem like they've been simmering down.
Yeah, it's been quiet the last couple of nights. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and that's so real quick. Let's start from the beginning first. So we have Trantifa and Antifa start acting like fools, trying to be a nuisance to ICE and their operations. And overall, it was, the typical bullshit that we see every single fucking time. But the most telling thing is how small the crowds were. It was almost like all the paid protesters didn't show up.
Yep.
Shocking.
I wonder why.
Also, I think it is worth noting, the Battle of the Bulge is soon going to have new meaning once the fight with Trantifa starts.
Oh. Oh, there's a mental image I didn't need. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was the thing. After this battle is over, the sanitariums will open back up, and you won't have to think about the bulge anymore.
But so what you end up having is that the overall chaos has been relatively minimal because again the paid protesters aren't showing up. They're not coming out in force. Honestly speaking, the biggest that I saw Portland get was a couple hundred at most.
Do you think it's wine? Do you think it's because it's quiet? It's really quiet. Do you think they're winding something up?
See, that could be a possibility, but I also believe that personally, I just think that most of these people were being paid to be there. We saw some information come out about I forget the name of the company, but it was I think it was actually like literally named Rent-A-Crowd or something like that.
There is one named that. I don't know if that's the one that was active, but there is one that is named that.
Well, the point is that these companies that literally you pay them to get a crowd out for whatever the hell you want. And I just don't think the massive amounts of cash that are required to get these massive, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 6,000, 9,000, so on and so forth. I just don't think the cash is there anymore. Which then is
they're not trucking in the cinder blocks anymore either. I noticed that.
Yeah,
they're having
the blunt objects are definitely not showing up as often.
Well, yeah, they're having to use hammers to chip up the curbs and shit to have shit to throw. But simply put, it's like the volume of actual guys doing shit is so relatively low at this point in time. It's like, oh, well, they're completely ineffective at this point in time. So yeah, there is a possibility.
That means the radical, actual militant insurgents are going to start organizing.
Well, they already have been. We know that.
Oh,
that
a long time ago.
But the point is that it's like, okay, well, at this point in time, the soft plays are done. And so, yeah, you could say that, the hard shit's coming inbound. And again, what did I say in a previous episode? Give it 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
There is something that I do want to say. First off, did y'all see the video clip of that little Mexican-looking dude that they caught up there in Portland? He was acting all big and brave and shit when he was throwing paint and stuff everywhere on the ice facility, but when they grabbed his ass and chucked him in there, he turned into a fucking sniveling crybaby.
Well, yeah,
most of them do that.
I suspect that he thought, oh, hey, this is gonna be an easy fucking deal, and then all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to get arrested. What do you mean I'm getting arrested? Where's my free lawyer?
That's what I'd say. It's like they're trying to manifest. They're trying to manifest their fascism.
I think the other part that you have
fascism so bad.
And another thing too that we were talking about the real insurgents getting spun up.
Well, that's where I'm trying to go with this.
Is there really anything to worry about? Because aren't they all just a bunch of pussified soy boys that couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag?
Not the professional
Well, they did just discharge a bunch of military.
No, they're not the ones that I worry about. I worry about the professionals that are usually in their early to mid 30s that are running around the country.
Some of those.
They're the
some
ones
of those people. Well, yeah, some of those people sounded off the alarm or whatever that Trump was trying to Nazify the military on TikTok and X and all of that, and they immediately got dishonorably discharged. So now he's got a bunch of pissed off, radical, militarily trained motherfuckers going dark with the Antifa.
Well, yes, but here's the thing that I need to point out with that is you are going to have some of those types, but also at the same time, there's going to be and most of them weren't getting dishonorable discharges. They were getting general discharges. The only ones that were getting dishonorably discharged were the ones that like physically tried to do shit. Like, for example, the dude and chick, you guys know what video I'm talking about. They were making a scene in a meeting and they got yanked out.
That was cringe.
Yeah, those guys
both retired.
Those guys are getting dishonorably discharged. I know that.
Yeah, those two in particular, though, they were already out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, the guy, he was former Army Ranger, so he's almost guaranteed to have. He is former Ranger, which means it's almost guaranteed that if the government wanted to, the Army could pull him back in and then court-martial him because he would have had the training and the paperwork and the backgrounds.
And another thing too, him being a ranger, wouldn't he also have the ability to be able to train other individuals to fight against the government?
It depends on his training. He could have been a Pentagon Ranger.
I was going to say, Mike, which level of special forces received those Kennedy-era protocols to disperse into the populace if the government went AWOL?
Wasn't that the Green Berets?
Yeah, that was the Green Berets, Delta, or McAfee SOG.
So what?
That was the level, guys.
What are those
Yeah,
protocols?
McAfee SOG, if I remember correctly, that encompassed all the special forces that were operating in Vietnam: Rangers, Green Berets.
Yeah,
they pulled everybody.
Snipers.
But remember, McAfee SOG. While you are correct, McAfee SOG laid the foundation for what would eventually become Delta.
Please don't use my name.
At 80% casualty rates.
But the point is that, yes, that kind of stuff is a possibility, but here's the thing. I'm just going to point this out. If you think those people aren't being tracked, they aren't being observed, you're kind of fooling yourself. Those people don't go back into the civilian populace without having some sort of tail. Especially in the current situation where it's like, oh yeah, these guys could definitely just hop in with a militant group and then cause problems.
You think we could be creating boogeymen to an extent?
Half and half. And that's the thing is, like, again, like as I keep telling and whenever he brings this stuff up, it's like you have to be concerned about particular units of the military, not the military as a whole, because it's going to be particular officers that decide to go AWOL and then their commands follow them. That's the main concern.
Please don't be using my name in the recording.
Sorry, I do it all the time. Fuck off.
It's fine. I like it.
But the point is that you're simply put, you're just looking at, okay, what colonels, what captains, what guys that have a massive respect and trust from their units who are aligned with this shit. Those are the guys that are truly going to be the problems. The generals aren't really going to be a problem. They've got their cushy corporate jobs that they are going to go to, and they're kind of just going to, cease to exist in the framework.
What
but
about
the colonels and captains, those are the guys that matter.
What about these leftist state National Guards?
Well, I mean, they're only National Guards.
Okay, first off, you're an idiot if that's the way you're going to think, Dale. Because the National Guard is the combat reserve.
Right, but I mean, it's not like
you have to.
They're not exactly, they're a lot less trained than their, full-time military counterpart.
No.
They spend less.
The National Guard has access to the same equipment that the regular Army has. It just depends on what state as to what units they have.
Oh.
And also, if I remember correctly, I think just about every single state has a Air National Guard too, which is basically like a Air Force National Guard, if you will.
Really?
You're probably thinking of the reserves, which is weekend warriors.
Oh, I thought that was the National Guard were the ones who were called the weekend warriors. Maybe I'm confusing things.
Yeah.
Like, aren't they the guys who only do a weekend of training every month and
Dale.
Yeah.
Do you remember our conversations that we had with Doc and him trying to join the Texas State Guard?
Oh yes.
That's pretty much how that works.
But
states have
state
their own
guard.
guards. Yeah, states have their own. Yeah, some states have their own guards. And then you also have the National Guard, which is, as Warren was saying, is basically the Army Reserves.
Well, okay, so let me explain it in totality because I know the structure. So you have the Army Reserves, which are the sustainment units. Those are the guys that it's like, hey, we need extra bodies to do logistics, communications, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. And then you have the National Guard, which is where all the combat units are that are reserve forces. So the National Guard, like they're not just weekend warriors. Like these guys, the whole weekend warrior mentality comes from, oh, these guys go do field exercises once a month, whereas they're continuously doing shit. Like for example, funny enough, bringing it up, as me and Poe we're coming home from, we're not going home, but we're going to get the last ultrasound done that she needed to do. As we were driving through the town, there's a National Guard armory in that area. And as we're driving, there are National Guardsmen, at least a squad of them, fucking rucking up the fucking road towards the fucking towards the armory. And it's these guys are continuously doing things based on what their squad, platoon, and company leadership are wanting them to do. Like,
oh yeah, I've got a big depot near me, like not even 20 minutes away.
Yeah,
and I've got them driving back and forth near me all the time.
So the National Guard are not. They're not pushovers. Don't ever assume that. And across the board, like most of the National Guard, like they're a 50-50 split, really, because you're going to have 50% who are like, yes, I'm here to do my job, and I know what my job is, and I'm going to do it. And then the other 50%, which are, motherfucker, I want to go home, and I don't want to be dealing with this shit. And that's really the split. You're going to have very few National Guard that are like, oh, I'm going to, do this and do this and do this. It's like, no, they just want to go the fuck home. Now, you are going to have state level loyalties that come into play, like Oregon, for example. The Adjutant General of the Oregon National Guard.
That was disgusting.
Huh?
Oh, that was disgusting when I saw that.
Yeah,
What did they
that's
do?
the thing is, just the abject refusal to even realize the position he was in. It was like, dude, like, you will be gone very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think he either realized it and didn't care, or he was too inept to realize what he was doing.
Yeah.
What exactly did he do? Like, I'm unaware of the whatever this National Guard guy did for him in Oregon. Was he like
Warhound?
disobedient?
I'll leave this to you because you'll be able to explain it better than I would. Because I
All
just
right.
get too stuff trying to say it.
Okay, so basically what the guy straight up did was create a situation where it was basically, we don't give a fuck what the federal government has to say. We're going to do what we want to do, and we don't want to, be patrolling our streets because, quote unquote, against the Constitution. And it's like, well, first off, that's not how that works, actually. And that's been established since George Washington. Like, the fact that these people believe that the military is not allowed on domestic soil is completely bunk. Now, during Washington's time, it was the state guard, not the National Guard, that was used, but the state guard were the standing militaries of each of the individual states at the time. And he took the state guard and put down what was called the Whiskey Rebellion. The precedent has been set previously. They're just trying to obfuscate, and that's what this guy did. Was just pure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was just pure obfuscation in an attempt to posture himself. And it's like, okay, cool, dude. Guess what? You're relieved of command, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and if you want a far more recent, what's the word for it? Darn it! A far more recent example of that. All you have to do is look at integration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They pulled National Guard in probably 20 or 30 different places across the country, down south,
There's that famous
to force schools and colleges.
Yeah, there's that famous photo from Little Rock, Arkansas, I believe.
Yeah.
And also, didn't they even bring in National Guard to like quell the Rodney King riots in the 90s?
Yeah, they did actually.
They did. The California State, the California State National Guard went in there. As a matter of fact, I know a feller that had participated in that.
I don't know if that was federal or if that was at state where they got deployed.
No, that was federal.
Well, that's probably the like closest, like the most relevant use. Then is just them.
That's a direct example.
Yeah.
That's a direct comparison.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is that as soon as Antifa and Trantifa decide to go full bore, then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go full whiskey rebellion on your ass, and don't expect to win that very easily.
It's interesting you said that, because that's what I was thinking of bringing up earlier, is with how quiet it's been the last couple of days, except for one event that really stands out, is that they pulled all the violent people out of the area. They left the mouthy people, but they pulled out the people. They removed the people that were actively violent.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Went down as military was about to come in.
Yep. No, it was like in Chicago, for example.
The one that really stands out is in Chicago, where ICE got surrounded in a car blockade and got shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's like the only thing out of the last 3 or 4 days that stood out.
There was also that one other vehicle that repeatedly rammed the ICE vehicle.
Oh, that was the same event.
Oh, it was?
Yep. Well, there might have been a set. No, there was 2 events. Yeah. There was one event where there was a car that was chasing down an ICE SUV, and then there was a second. I think they both happened in Chicago.
Yeah,
don't quote me on that, though.
They did.
Yeah.
But the second event, the bigger one, where it was like 8 or 10 cars surrounded an ICE convoy, and one of the people in the cars that blockaded the ICE convoy started shooting at them, and there was pretty good exchange of gunfire there. I don't remember the round count. I've heard a couple different round counts, but it was in the 30s or 40s, something like that. And the lady that started the gunfire, she drove her happy ass to the hospital. She got hit.
Interesting.
And that's the big one that stood out.
So pretty much what you gentlemen are saying is that it's a possibility that the heavy hitters are just regrouping and waiting to see what happens before they make the next move. Am I picking up what y'all putting down?
It's not quite where I was going, although that's a very real possibility. I was saying more to the fact that they got pulled off the front lines.
So here's the thing, is that and this is the assessment that I've given to other people, is we are looking at the quiet before the storm. Trantifa as an idea, because it's just Antifa, it's just, they're all trans. Trantifa is they're the berserkers, they're the vanguard. They're going to be sent in first. They're the ones conducting all these little micro attacks where, they're going into schools and churches and other shit like that. And they're going to use them to cause as much chaos and destruction as possible. And then the line units start coming out, where you're going to have organized teams. You're going to start seeing, the distinctive smell of Chicanos around, because then at that point in time, the cartel also starts coming in. So that's kind of like their overall order of battle is, okay, use the trannies, dispose of them because they're going to get disposed of anyways after all this anyhow. Might as well, have them kill a couple people before they, so that they're useful.
Yep. Case in point, what's going on up in Michigan right now?
Okay, I'm in Michigan and I didn't catch anything. What's going on around here?
Basically, what the local governments up there have done is sided with the Muslim populations and threw the rainbow community into the bus.
Oh, yeah. We've got one of our own crazy-ass Muslims. No, excuse me. Islamists that's trying to run for government, for Senate, I think.
Ooh, that motherfucker's going to have fun in the coming years.
Yeah, we've got our own Ilhan that's popped his head up over here.
Do you think he'll win?
It's Michigan. You never know what's going to happen here.
Hey, Warhound, I do apologize for having you repeat stuff. It's just, I apologize, bro. My memory is not what it used to be.
It depends. Yeah, it entirely depends on turnout and which demographics show up in Michigan. More so in Michigan than, I wouldn't say anywhere else, but we're like the top 5 of what the hell is going to happen.
Right.
Well, Kirschi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirschi's been saying, I wonder which state's going to get their caliphate first, Michigan or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
That's a good question. But yeah, I'd lean towards Minnesota. The population density over in my area is nowhere near as high as it is in Minnesota.
Yeah. Right. Isn't it basically confined only to like Dearborn? Whereas in Minnesota, it's all over the place.
The major group is in Dearborn, but it's spider webbed out into a couple other places over the last few years. Where in Minnesota, it's the total population of the state is so small and spread out, where if you get one population center that grows dramatically, you've got a big problem over there because there's so few voting areas. There's so few.
When I was in Minnesota, this has been over a decade ago, but the only places that really had Muslim enclaves was the Minneapolis-St. Paul area and St. Cloud. And also, if you go north of St. Cloud, there's hardly anything up there.
Well, here's the thing that I would point out in regards to this. So with Michigan, what are the majority of the people in case of the Islamists? What are they?
Wahhabists?
No, they're Palestinians. The vast majority of them, they're Palestinians.
It's surprisingly yes.
Whereas in Minnesota, I believe it's Somalis.
Yeah. And so what do you got going on? You have the whole Israel-Gaza thing, which more and more Palestinians have fled to the United States because they're able to easily get sponsors through the families that have already come here. So it's like, oh, this is my cousin, he's a cool dude, yada yada yada, and it's like, well, okay, whatever, The immigration reform will stamp out most of that, of course, but it's going to take time. But then in case of in the Somalis in Minnesota, you have right now 2 very distinct potentials that are going on in Somalia, where you have the potential for basically 2 breakaway enclaves that have basically declared pseudo-independence away from the Somalian government. And then you also have a jihadist movement in Somalia that is a direct offshoot of ISIS that is currently attacking and potentially going to seize the country. So it's like, like, yeah, you're gonna have problems.
Ilhan Omar's parents are probably really pissed off about that because they used to be the royalty over there. Oh, that's no joke. Her family were the leaders over there at one point. They got kicked out.
Yeah, I heard the reason why Ilhan Omar and her family came over here was because the people in Somalia wanted their skins.
Yeah, they were not technically a tyrant dynasty, but that's how they ruled. And they got overthrown, and that's why her family ended up in one of the refugee camps and then came here.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
After she married her brother.
Yes.
And speaking of that, I also heard that the Congress is looking into that little matter.
Yes.
Yes, there's a better than 50% chance she might actually get deported. Funny enough.
Oh, that would be lovely.
But overall, when it comes to this whole situation, is that in reality is there going to be some wild caliphate bullshit that happens? No, not at all. Frankly speaking, people are going to look at that shit and let me kind of wheel back a little bit. People are going to see the bullshit with Antifa, and then after all that's done, they're going to look at the shit with the Islamists, and they're going to be like, handle them now. And then at that point in time, like, yeah, people are bitching and whining and crying, and it's like, JD Vance is a shoo-in. As long as you motherfuckers actually show up and fucking cast your votes and actually, do what we need to do in order to fucking fix the problem. Yeah. JD Vance is a fucking shoo-in. And by the time JD Vance gets into his second term, which, again, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing right now, honestly speaking, the dude's going to get a second term.
Yeah.
Let's be completely frank here. He's not a vice president that sits in the Naval Observatory and holds his dick all the time. He's actually out there doing shit.
He is running around everywhere. He's like the only person that can keep up with Trump.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like he's the only person I've seen in the cabinet that can physically keep up with Trump. It's kind of remarkable.
Yeah. Well, and this is also the funny part, because I follow the YouTube channel Warfronts.
War crumbs, as in like breadcrumbs?
No, Warfronts. Sorry,
Warfronts. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was chewing. Sorry, it's late lunch, early dinner for me right now. I apologize. But the thing is that Warfronts, they did a video, or not Warfronts itself, but I think it's called Political Fronts, is the channel that they used for this one. But they did a video talking about, who are the most potential for the presidency. And one of the things that they were trying to say was that JD Vance is, he's basically the technocrats selected man. And it's hilarious to me because I'm like, okay, first and foremost, the fact that they're trying to paint JD in this untrustworthy fucking manner tells me exactly that that's the motherfucker that I want to fucking elect, because the Europeans, they will glaze the shit out of whoever they fucking want to be chosen, and they will demean anybody that they don't want chosen. So it's like, okay, so if a European is talking shit about JD Vance, I'm going to choose JD Vance, period, end of story.
Yeah. Another group to point out that's also talking shit about Vance the same way, it also, further gets more, more endorsements for Vance, Grapers. They also say the same thing. So, Europeans and Grapers having the same opinion, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's an odd combination, but yeah. Oh, what was it?
It's almost like the Groypers are an opposition party propped up by, outside forces. Weird.
I wonder. Really quickly, before we get too much further into next subject. Another example of how the country, theoretically, I need to say that, if things continue as they are going now, large portions of the country are going to go, absolutely not. We don't want any more crap from Antifa, and then whatever groups might show up afterwards, Islamists, is, oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the guy in New York City.
Mamdani? Zoran Mamdani?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. He is going to do an insane amount of damage to their quote-unquote cause.
Yeah.
Besides the fact he's going to destroy New York City, everybody else in the country is going to look at that and go, oh, hell no, we don't want any of that.
Oh, no, actually, here's the fun part. He's already killed New York City. Just by running, he has already killed New York City. Because the number of so Wall Street's emptying out. There are guys that are basically straight up being like, you know what, Nashville sounds real good this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody I used to do business with, was going to sign a contract with, had his business was just on the other side of the bridge in New York City, on the far side, so just outside of New York City itself. And he is pulling like $80 million out of there and going down south.
Sounds about right.
Let me guess, Charlottesville.
Yeah, I think so.
He's going to Charlotte.
I didn't ask specifically, but that sounds right. As soon as, the black guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Eric Adams?
Eric Adams.
Thank you, Adams. As soon as Adams dropped out, but I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry. The street crime guy stayed in the race.
Curtis Silva.
Curtis Sleewood. Yep. When Adams dropped out and Sleewood stayed in, he hauled his ass and his company down south.
Mm.
He is fire sailing everything he has up there and moving.
Makes sense.
Before
that's the thing. That's the thing is that commercial real estate sales in like buildings going up for sale in New York is increasing exponentially.
Mm-hmm. And nobody's buying.
Companies are just getting the fuck out.
Yeah, nobody's been buying commercial in there for the last 10 years, but yeah, now it's really bad.
Yep.
And if you think the residential bubble burst back in the early the early Obama years with Freddie Mae and Fannie, Freddie and Fannie, the commercial side, the commercial version of that in New York is going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be horrific because it's entirely artificial over there. The banking infrastructure and the mortgage setups, it's a pyramid scheme, basically. I don't know if it would technically qualify as such legally, but it's how it's run, is how all those buildings are theoretically worth so much money and the land is worth so much money. I'm gonna write it up 5% more than it actually is every year. That way I can say, well, I can't fill it up, so I'll be able to write it off on tax deductions. And 80%, 70% of all of the empty buildings in New York City, you walk through areas and it's a ghost town. It's empty. That's why that's happening. So as soon as he gets into office, that's going to blow up.
Well, that's the thing is, you notice after Adams announced he was out, Silva's numbers went up. Mm-hmm. I don't think. You see, here's the thing: is I'm not saying Mamdani is not going to win, but if Cuomo gets the fuck out of the way, which Cuomo needs to get the fuck out of the way, Silva might actually have a fucking chance of knocking Mamdani out. And if that happens, Mamdani's done irrevocable damage to New York, period, in a story. The companies that are able to get the fuck out of Dodge now are getting the fuck out of Dodge. And that tax base is going with them.
Yep.
New York will not recover from that, period, in a story. So, it's going to be interesting with how Silva is able to, if he does win, be able to rectify that situation. But at this point in time, it's like,
it would be interesting if he does, but I'll be real honest, it ain't bad enough there yet. Because you gotta go and look before Giuliani was mayor. You got to look at how horrific New York City was.
Yeah.
And until it gets to that point, again, they're not going to have they won't even have a moderate left in office there until that happens. A left side of moderate. No.
Yeah.
And Sleewood is definitely on the right side of center.
Yeah, like
the what the hell did you just say? Right side of center.
It's definitely gonna have to get to the point where they're making more Dirty Harry style of movies and Death Wish style of movies before.
I was just gonna say, go a step further. Go with Death Wish.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's gonna the Death Wish conditions of 70s New York are the only thing that's ever going to get New York to potentially even consider changing. And we're not there yet.
No, unfortunately. Sorry, I kind of squirreled in the sideways direction.
No, that was again a good points. And honestly speaking, you might not be wrong. Honestly speaking, you might not be fucking wrong at all. But when that commercial real estate bubble bursts up there, they think Dirty Harry or Death Wish is bad. Oh, Escape from New York shit.
That is a possibility.
Well, look at what Canada's already doing. Canada's already instituted fucking 30% exit tax.
Verg, you're the one that's up there.
Exit tax on what specifically?
People moving out of Canada.
Oh. I have not heard about that, which, I mean, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just, that would be...
I know for a fact it is a thing, because you know the TikToker Call Me Chris?
Yeah.
She's married to Oompaville.
Mm-hmm.
She had to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get out of Canada in the exit taxes. And that's what's going to happen with New York. They're literally just going to institute an exit tax in order to be able to move out of the city/state. That's what it's going to end up coming down to. They're going to bleed so fucking badly, it's unfucking real. And then by the time they get down to the population, they're going, and this is probably what you should be more concerned about, is what does New York City/state do when all of a sudden they have a Detroit style burn in their economy? What happens then?
New York City basically pays for New York State, and when parts of the island turn into Detroit, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Well, I can tell you this right now. Long Island and Staten Island are fucking gone. Immediately.
Ain't it weird how the RoboCop version of Detroit is a lot better than the version of Detroit we have to live with?
Depends on where you're at in Detroit.
Yeah, I was about to say. See, Detroit. Here's the problem: is Detroit was it fell under its own weight. Detroit was a lot different in overall breakdown than what New York is right now.
Yes.
Detroit literally fell under its own weight. Like, it was just too big and too cumbersome, and they started taxing it. Like this is the fun part, is it's a cycle repeating itself. You tax people too much, they move out, and then all of a sudden the city goes to shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
On Detroit, real quick, it's worth noting, like, downtown Detroit is still a pretty nice area. It's just everything outside of downtown Detroit.
Yes, no, and yes. Yes, it is a very nice area as long as you stay on the particular 1.5 mile, 3 mile, 4 mile area. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you step off that, you're in the wrong block.
Yeah.
And the reason that particular area is nice is you had some outside investors out of state investors come in and dump billions of dollars into Detroit. They came in, they bought whole sections of it, and they rebuilt those sections. And if you leave those sections, you're dealing with the Bloods, the Crips, and everybody else.
Right.
Well, and here's the thing, again. What killed Detroit was they were taxing people too much, and they were taxing businesses too much. So the factories moved out of Detroit proper into the suburbs.
Yep.
And then after that happened, the people moved into the suburbs as well because the jobs aren't in Detroit anymore. Yeah. leaving the people who couldn't leave to begin with.
Yep.
And that's what created the downgrade.
Yep. Real quick.
And then with New York, again, like when the New York Stock Exchange closes and they open up the Nashville Stock Exchange, that's when you know shit's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing to point out about Detroit specifically, that it wasn't just the taxes, it was also the auto unions got too strong, right? It got to the point where it was like starting salary for like, you know, if you're in one of the Detroit auto unions, for like an entry-level career is $120,000 a year, right? So it's just companies moved out because that's unsustainable.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You can't pay
the other
$100K a year.
Yeah. The other part of why Detroit fell is a lot of people either don't understand or intentionally boil it down to white flight. And that's not at all what happened. What happened is it was economic flight. If you had the money to get out, you got out. If you didn't, you were stuck there. Mm-hmm. And now you're living in a rat hole.
Yep.
And theoretically, that's what's going to happen to parts of New York. Especially the economic hubs. Because they don't have an industrial hub, truly. They have economic hubs.
Yeah, they have financial
hubs. So, yeah. If it goes tits up there, it's going to be another case of anybody with money is going to disappear, and whoever doesn't.
Yeah, and we're already seeing it happen. Yeah. Again, like New York is, they're seeing furlough rates increase exponentially. They're seeing companies shuttering and selling off assets. They have companies just wholesale moving out. You know. Yeah.
Amazon's got to be happy.
Yeah, Amazon is probably fucking just living the dream right now.
Oh yeah,
knowing like, oh shit, we dodged a bullet.
Yeah, they're probably sending AOC lifetime gift baskets.
Yeah,
because they would have been stuck in this mess, and they would have been where they couldn't
think of it from this. Yeah, and think about it from this perspective. You have a situation like this. All of these, all the business and all the money flees, and it's just going to gen up more for the other states where that shit flees. By the way, those fleets or those places are tentatively under our control. And so it's just going to strengthen our position. And it's like, okay, screw yourselves. We don't care. Like here in the state of Ohio, people are screaming and yelling and bitching because we want to get rid of property taxes. Oh, well, how are they going to pay for schools and do this and do that? And it's like, that's not our problem. That's not our problem at all. We do not care. They're the ones that figure that shit out. We're just saying fuck you and property tax.
And ironically, you get rid of property taxes, which is one of the biggest killers for families. They're going to have a lot more money to spend. A lot more money to spend. Well, which is going to the economy, and the taxes from that will cover and exceed what's being gained.
Well, and here's the fun part. So I did an exercise with a dude that I know, because he was really like on the fence about the idea. He's like, well, what are the counties going to do? And I was like, what the counties already do. They're just going to tax what they tax right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then they'll just raise the taxes. And I'm like, you do realize that as part of this push, we exposed that the counties have a shit ton of money sitting in accounts that isn't supposed to be sitting in accounts. We're talking billions of dollars across the state that these counties should not have in accounts that they have in accounts. And then he was like, oh, well, okay, so they shouldn't have that money. What does that mean? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it means they're taxing people too fucking much because they have excess reserves. Like somebody on a podcast that I, one of the organizers for the Axe the Tax movement here in Ohio, or Axe Ohio Tax, that's the movement. One of the organizers was like, they've got 4 years of, they have enough money in the entire state to pay for the schools and emergency services for 4 years.
0-4 or 4-0?
4.
Yeah, 0-4. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, they have enough money in those accounts to pay for 4 years of operations. They're taxing people too much because the money's sitting in
a lot of excess revenue.
Yeah, and that's the point. And mind you, Ohio is one of the most heavily taxed states in the union.
Really?
I think it was like 18th in the country. Like we're in the top 20 in terms of taxes.
Is it mostly income tax or is it other taxes?
It's other taxes. Income tax, frankly speaking, Ohio, if I remember correctly, is like middle of the pack. But it's all the other taxes.
What are the taxes that they tend to get you on in Ohio? Is it property taxes mostly?
So a large portion of it's property taxes. Then you have the fuel taxes because if I remember correctly, Ohio has, I think it's like the 11th or 12th highest fuel tax in the country. Then you also have the sales taxes. Like I was actually talking with Gavin and my dad. I'm like, hey, just letting you guys know, I should be buying stuff for our extracurricular activities. I should be the one buying it. And they were like, why? And I'm like, because I have the lowest sales tax out of all three of us. Like, and unfortunately, the state sales tax is 6.5%. My sales tax here where I live is 6.75. So it's only 25 basis points higher than the actual state limit. And it's like, it adds up over time. It kills spending. Like me personally, I'm sitting here and I'm like, honestly speaking, fuck it. I don't want to buy anything in this state. I just want to put the money away into my investment account and just say fuck it and live like a goddamn Luddite and just refuse to spend money. Just put money into fucking investments. And then at that point in time, it's like, fuck it, I'll move out of the state.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of sales taxes, though, you say yours is about 6%. If you had to guess, what do you think the sales taxes in Quebec is like?
Probably around 11.
15.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yes.
No,
That's
the only
pretty
reason why I said 11 is because it's around 11 in Texas.
Really?
But here's the thing in Texas. They don't have income tax. They don't have a bunch of the other like really retarded taxes down there. Mm-hmm. The cost of living is only particularly high because of energy costs and property taxes. And right now they're trying to get rid of property taxes down there as well, funny enough. So in reality, the cost of living in Texas, it's higher, but it's only higher because of the property taxes. Once the property taxes get gotten rid of, the cost of living in Texas is going to fucking bottom out like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. No, property taxes are a huge fucking problem.
Yeah. But isn't property taxes how Texas like rakes in the most of its tax revenue?
No, they bring it in via sales tax. The majority of it. Because remember, the property taxes are county taxes.
Oh.
They're not state taxes. The state takes a cut, but they're not state taxes, normally speaking. Now, the state can impose a property tax on top of what the counties generally do. But that was kind of always how it worked, is the counties would collect property taxes to run their shit, and then the states would have sales taxes. That's usually how it worked.
Yeah, would have sales and income tax.
Well, no, income tax came later. Mm-hmm. And then when income tax came into play, then that put an extra burden on everybody. And then moving forward, they started implementing fuel taxes. And, like, for example, if you had land that wasn't being used for shit, there are some states that, I forget what it's referred to, but there's basically a tax on land that's not being productive. There are some states that do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's absurd. So they not only tax you on the property, but then they also tax you more on unused property? Or
there are places...
It's absurd.
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember, I think it might... Shit, which one has it? There's a couple there's a couple states that have that kind of tax. I think, is it Massachusetts or Vermont?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I want to say it's Massachusetts. If you have more than X amount of acres on your property and that land isn't being used as a productive land, so like say you're not using it for farming territory or whatever, then they tax you as basically it's a waste tax. It's like, oh, you're being wasteful. And it's like, fuck you.
Yes.
But again, the point is that a lot of these governments, and I'm speaking from city to county to state to federal, they will find any way to tax anything. And that's why it's like, no, we start telling them to go fuck themselves. That's what's really, and that's what New York is going to find out very quickly. It's like, you're just talking about taxing everybody to death, and eventually they're going to tell you they're either going to tell you to go fuck yourself at the ballot box, or they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself by a 45. Which one do you prefer? Mm-hmm. But in the case of New York, they're fucked no matter what, because all of the infrastructure and all of the shit they have, that the arteries and veins of a city, it's going to crash under the weight of the cost of maintenance. Mm-hmm. Just like how Detroit crashed. So, is what it is.
Indeed. They will have ruined another once great city.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, when you go to Japan, they're not going to be talking about the Big Apple anymore. They'll be talking about the worm.
All of a sudden, it's the what? All of a sudden, it's the Charlotte Yankees instead of the New York Yankees. That would be funny. I just gotta say that right now. If the Yankees leave New York, that's gonna be fucking apocalyptic for them,
Yep.
culturally and economically.
Yeah, if that happens, whoever is in office anywhere in the entire state is going to be lynched.
Maybe that will be enough to finally elect Curtis Silva.
Yeah, maybe losing the one team that makes New York recognizable.
Yeah. The greatest irony of all would if you said that they go down to Charlotte. A team called the Yankees. The team called the Yankees would move to a former Confederate state.
Ironic.
Yeah, that would be ironic. It'd be even more. I would just say it would be even better if they moved to Nashville. All of a sudden, Nashville has country music and baseball.
Yes. They'd have to change their name to the from the Nashville Yankees to the Nashville Carpetbaggers.
Nashville Carpetbaggers.
Okay, that's funny.
Oh fuck! I wasn't expect. Oh my god! I wasn't expecting that. Holy shit! Dale, you got some good ones sometimes. Holy fuck!
Thanks.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna start calling them that, the Nashville Carpetbaggers. I'm gonna call them that from now on.
Okay.
Oh, God, that reminds me of an...
Why?
30, it was either the 30s?
Why?
A baseball player in the 30s, Barefoot Joe. I don't know if any of you have heard of him. But he was traded so many times that the joke is that he wore out his shoes walking from one team to the next, to the next, to the next. I don't know why it made me think of that, but it did.
Fair enough. But yeah, my knowledge of the game of baseball is as little as it can possibly be.
You're not missing out on much anymore.
Yeah. When you say anymore, do you mean it used to be better?
Yes.
What changed?
Statistics.
Statistics? Is that whole, sabermetrics crap? Is that what you mean?
Have you ever watched the movie Moneyball?
No.
Oh, it was Shoeless Joe Jackson. Okay, I was close.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Sorry, this is just a funny meme. Put this up in the video.
Alright.
This is a funny meme. It's very.
Oh, good Lord.
Relative to our conversation.
Yeah. Anyways, the movie Moneyball does a really good job of explaining what ended up happening. I don't remember exactly when it was anymore. But it basically took spreadsheet math and just glued it on top of baseball. So instead of having players that people liked because they liked them and they played well, they went out and found players that performed best on the average, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So it turned into spreadsheet sports. Which, yes, technically that makes a team more likely to succeed, but it makes for boring games. So what in the world does it supposed to say?
See, that's the fun part for me is that I remember, and just because we're talking about baseball. I used to go down to Akron all the time to go to Akron Rubber Ducks games, and it was literally just the fact that it was like, okay, are they playing Pittsburgh today? Oh, they're not playing Pittsburgh today. Okay, never mind. Like, we'll watch the game, but whatever. And then as soon as they were playing Pittsburgh, it's like, hit him with the ball! Fucking hit him in the face! I don't give a shit if he gets a walk. Hit him! Oh, man, every time. Dude, my family, and all of our friends would get so violent whenever they were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. Every single fucking time. It's like
sounds like me when I go and watch a good hockey game. See, that's why I like hockey, because you can still go and see the kind of crazy crap that used to happen in baseball.
Yep, and you can watch people just beat the shit out of each other on the ice.
Yeah.
Oh, not like you used to be able to.
That's true.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not to the extreme, but a good fight does happen every so often.
Mm-hmm. But yes, unfortunately, the era of the enforcer is no longer a thing.
Actually, so I guess we're gonna go off the politics for a little bit. Have you heard that the potential that there is going to be a new hockey league that's wanting to start where they go back to having enforcers, and enforcers are like an official position within the league?
I have not heard of that.
Really?
I hope it happens.
I have heard rumblings. I have heard rumblings of this, and if it becomes a thing, NHL is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to 70s and 80s hockey, yeah,
yep.
The NHL is boned.
I want it to happen so bad. I keep hearing little bits and pieces of some guys getting together and potentially starting a new league, and I'm just like, yes, please do it. Please do it. That's actually why I never got into hockey full bore, was because it's like I would hear all these great stories of all the dumb shit that would happen back in the day, and then I go to a hockey game nowadays and I don't see any of the dumb shit, and I'm like, come on!
Mm-hmm.
I want to see somebody get beat the fuck up.
Hey, one down.
Yes.
Well, you talk about sports. Well, this ain't officially, but you know how stupid my middle school used to be?
Oh.
Well, during recess, me and a bunch of people would get together to play football. And when we got an actual football, our teacher got mad and tried to discipline us and ban us from using a football. But they let us take a Gatorade bottle, fill it up with rocks and stuff, and use that as the ball instead.
What?
What the shit? Okay. I don't know what
the tail and going to lawn darts.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's like that. That's like going from paintball to, hey, we're just gonna use 22s to shoot each other. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Like, a football too dangerous. Here, have this bottle of rocks instead.
Oh my God. I
can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically what that is.
It was almost about I found out the roof was covered in broken glass.
Of course.
How did you find out the roof was covered in broken glass?
Oh, I climbed up there.
Of course you did. But getting back to our main topics.
Since you're a father-to-be, just be warned. Having a kid is like having a goat. They're going to get into some stuff that they shouldn't be getting into.
Yeah, probably. But getting back to our main topics. So, going back to Portland real quick, because we've covered New York pretty heavily. We've covered Chicago pretty decently. Let's talk about Portland. How many sets of testicles did Kristi Noem put into jars the past couple days?
Well, considering it was Portland, I'm going to guess not many.
Yeah, they're all closet trannies. Jeez.
I want to listen to that police chief, that Portland police chief. Yeah, he looked like he got a rectal exam with no lube.
Bend over and cough. No, it was fucking hilarious from my perspective, because you guys have noticed the past night and a half, basically, the Portland police have established a 3-block cordon around the ice facility, and the only people that are being allowed in are the ice supporters. Period. In the story. And Antifa had their little campsite that they had outside of the ice facility that ended up getting dismantled because they can't get down there. It's like, whoops. Sorry about that. But yeah, no. So Kristi Noem goes in, fucking, reads them the riot act, basically tells them like, hey, if you don't fucking start cooperating, we're going to, and here's the key thing with the police chief is that I have heard on the back end that apparently he's been under investigation for financial crimes. I don't know if that's true completely, but if it turns out to be true, oh boy, his MEQ just got slapped on the fucking table, and he got told, dude, you're either going to go to jail or you can work with us. Pick one. And you don't want to go to jail in Oregon, because if you go to jail in Oregon, you are fucked. Because these motherfuckers will kill you. It's so stupid. But we see the result of it. Antifa is completely defanged. Now the Oregon or the Portland Police Department is having to deal with them, and ICE has stepped up operations. Now they don't have to keep a bunch of people at the fucking facility to fucking run defense. They're running on a skeleton crew basically at the facility, and they've got everybody out fucking picking people up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's instead of have 80 people in the building, they can have 10 people in there, and they have the other 70 out on the street.
Yeah.
Warhound, you also heard what Trump's doing with the illegals that came over here and started shit?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, you hear what Trump was doing with the illegals that came over here and starting stuff?
Is he feeding them the alligators? Please, dear God, is he feeding them the alligators?
No. He's doing something even better. You know how there's a military base all across the border?
There's a lot of them, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Let me put it this way. He has them down there building the wall.
Wait. We've reached. Oh, hey, we arrested you. We've charged you, and now we're putting you to fucking work. Yes.
Hey, Warhound, I guess he really did get Mexico to pay for it.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're paying the labor costs.
Yep.
Like, hey, yeah, we're gonna pay you federal minimum wage.
I guess those Mexicans.
Holy shit, that's phenomenal to me, because and seriously, that's the perfect way to fucking handle this situation. It's like, okay, you can skip across the border. Oh, you committed a crime? Okay, you're going to pay restitution to the country by building the fucking barrier that's keeping your compadres on the other side of it. Actually, have you guys seen how they're reinforcing the bollard wall now?
No. What are they doing?
No.
They're putting in like 2 feet of concrete at the base.
Is that to
Because-
keep people from
because-
tunneling under it?
No, it's to keep people from cutting the fence. And and because they're putting seismic sensors in the concrete, whenever somebody takes a grinder and starts cutting through, they know instantly that something's going on in that sector. They pull up the cameras and it's like, oh hey, look at that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos and stuff of those people using portable acetylene torches and cutting holes in the wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're doing whatever the fuck they can to smuggle shit through, whether it be people, drugs, or guns or whatever. They're doing whatever they need to do. What's even funnier is because of the upgrade of putting the concrete barrier at the base of the bollards, and having those seismic sensors, is that they're catching people so much quicker. Like
that reminds me of something. Did you know that during the Biden years, there were actually fucking college students in Texas that were smuggling Mexicans from the border up into the state?
Yeah, there were. Yeah, I know. I forget the name of the NGO that those kids were working for, but that NGO has since been shut down.
Good.
After that NGO got shut down, that shit stopped.
Yeah, I heard that there was a lot of NGOs and shit getting shut down, and as a result, there haven't been as many border incursions. All these Antifa and other type organizations have been running out of funds.
It's not just that they're running out of funds. It's that they are... DOJ is actively investigating where the money is coming from and how it's getting moved around. And people are freaking out.
And
well, I will point out that that's part of the case that they're building against Brennan.
Yep.
Didn't he plead not guilty while he was in court, or was that Comey?
That was Comey.
Yeah,
that was Comey. I really hope they release his mugshot.
Oh, Comey's fucked. Brennan's fucked. Will we get Obama? That's
No.
a 50-50. Well, that's the thing is if they find something substantial enough, they can get Obama. But what that will require is that they have to go to Congress. It'll be after the midterms, because we need to slaughter these motherfuckers in the midterms. But it'll be in the midterms when that happens or after the midterms, because right now Congress will not impeach and convict Obama, because he has to be impeached and convicted to remove his immunity as president. Once that happens,
send it to me. Hey, you guys, my girlfriend just got a weird text message. I don't know how in the hell she got it from, but she's going to screenshot it to me, and I'm going to send it to you guys to read.
Interesting.
It's on subject of what we're talking about.
Probably the phone's listening in, and selling
That's
me
no
that.
joke.
All right, she sent it. Let me forward it to you guys.
No worries. I'm kind of curious now.
Okay.
Good Lord, cats. Seriously?
Check the general.
Can you post it in the side chat as well?
Oh, yeah. We download it.
I sent it to Warhound.
No worries.
Yeah.
It just looks like another political text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but read it. Trump thinks he's a king, but on October 18th, we'll remind America.
Bitch, ain't shit gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so So here's the fun part: is that do you guys know who is funding the No Kings movement?
Oh.
A couple different groups, but one of them is the Tides Foundation, which is directly linked to us.
Yes, but it's mainly European NGOs.
Yeah, that also Act Blue, but yeah.
I'd like to know how these motherfuckers got a hold of Mel's number to begin with. Oh, and if you guys are going to show that, blur that out.
I care.
I can tell you how they got a hold of her number. It's called. There's a fucking. Basically, your number is on any number of fucking call lists, and like for example. Yeah, I've literally gotten texts from organizations that I have no fucking interest in being any way associated with, and I have literally contacted the organizations and straight up said, like, if you guys reach out to me again, I will be filing a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, data brokers, they're everywhere. Every time you get a free service, you're the product.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think it's also kind of funny how
notice. I would like to point something out in regards to that. Notice how with Facebook, it went from being a free to use service to all of a sudden there's a shit ton of ads everywhere. Weird.
Yep.
It's almost like they had to stop selling their shit.
Yep. And it's also worth noting, any app you have on your phone that you haven't paid for, there's a pretty good chance that it's listening into what you're saying all the time in order so that it can sell that information to people who might want to sell you things.
The ones you pay for are doing the same thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Part of the user's agreement that you have to click, you got to scroll through the 15 pages and then click 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right in there saying it is we will be selling your data. It says it right in.
I just think it's interesting how these No Kings motherfuckers are still active.
Okay, real quick. So Poe made a post earlier. I just saw this on Twitter because I got a notification for Tom Luongo notification. What do politics have to do with personality disorders and abusive behavior? And it's a picture of a horseshoe political diagram, and at the top it says "nice to dogs." At the bottom it says "tortures dogs." I need you to understand this, Poe, because you're in the room. It is there is a direct correlation, absolute direct correlation, because communists and actual fascists, they abuse the shit out of their populations. They abuse the fuck out of their populations. And if you're willing to abuse...
my argument was that this goes beyond politics because there are shitty people in every group.
Yes.
I understand that, but at the same time, the shitty people tend to correlate into particular areas. It's very rare that you find truly shitty people in anywhere else other than those 2 areas.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think it's also quite amusing that Hassan Pecker is letting his mask slip off, especially with how he treated that poor dog.
Yes.
Well, it's funny from my perspective because it's like, bruh, like it doesn't matter if your dog caught her fucking nail on the fucking bed and that's what hurt her. Just the simple fact that you reached for something. You could see your arm reach for something. And as you would have seen the dog moving. Like, dog moved, you reached. And it's like, that's my problem. is that you're so desperate for the dog to be in the frame because it gives the air of being a good person because your animal's around and wants to be around you and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. That's the effect that it has, and it's like, yeah, you reached for something real fucking quick as soon as the dog stood up.
That poor
And
dog
it's
was
like-
literally getting up just to turn around in a circle and then sit and lay back down.
Yes.
And you
I
can tell that dog has had a bad life by how it's holding itself.
Mm-hmm.
And from what
Whether
I understand, one of the collars that he allegedly had was one of those chain choke collars that had spikes on the inside of it.
Spikes
Which
on
are
the
illegal
inside
in
of it?
several states.
What the fuck? I did not.
Oh
know.
yeah, you didn't know that? There are collars
Yeah,
with spikes and it's a
Like,
choke
It's
chain.
called a pinch. It's called a pinch collar.
I've heard of them
And-
with spikes on the outside to prevent like wolves from biting the dog's neck, but I've never heard of one that the spikes are there to stab the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Usually
called a
they're
pinch
used to
collar.
prevent pulling when you're walking your dog on the leash.
That
Yeah,
just sounds
so
awful.
they're not okay. So you're not supposed to use it on smaller dogs, because it can like severely injure them to the point of death. They tend to be used on larger dogs because larger dogs, they have a tendency to be able to snap lines real easily, and so they're not supposed to wear it all the time. You only use it for when you're walking or you're putting them out on a lead out in the yard. And it's literally meant to be a temporary thing to keep them from yanking and potentially breaking the line. And then they get loose. My dog, Jessie, back when I was younger, for example, so she was a Shiloh Shepherd. And if you know anything about Shiloh Shepherds, they're big, they're powerful, they're fast, and they're fucking ferociously protective. Like, she would see another dog on our side of the fucking street, and she would want to commit fucking murder because she is like, enemy. Like, that was her whole mentality.
Just like Sassy.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing is, if you brought a dog, like if you introduced her to a dog and you're sitting there playing with the dog and, you know, you're interacting friendly with the dog, she was fine. But if it was a random dog that she had no idea who the fuck they were and they were a potential threat to us kids, she was like, nah. And she was even worse if us kids were in the yard with her. If we were in the yard with her, she like did not want anybody, regular people, like mailmen, for example, and whatnot, like people we would interact with, no problem. She was very like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Very good dog. I loved her to death, and she was just one of the most fantastic fucking animals ever. But we had to use a pinch collar with her because if we didn't, she would literally yank lines so hard that she would either snap steel cable, which she did on multiple occasions, or she would just rip it out of the ground.
You know, that dog kind of reminds me of this little, not really little, dog that we had when me and my cousins were kids. He was half German Shepherd and half Blue Heeler.
Yeah, so Shiloh Shepherds are half Saint Bernard and half German Shepherd. And that's why they're so big and so powerful, is because they come from very big, powerful breeds.
Well, this dog, he loved kids, but if he didn't know you, he'd eat your ass up.
But yeah, no, like pinch collars, they have a use case. They really do, and I don't judge people for using them. The time I judge people for using them is like in the case of my dad, for example, and my dad did fuck up with this one. When they would overuse it, and then eventually what happened was the prongs on the pinch collar started digging into Jesse's neck. And that's when it was like, okay, that's not good. And mind you, Poe knows my dad, so she's heard how he reacts to dogs.
He could learn a lot from me.
He was not okay. He was not okay with himself after he saw that it was digging into her skin like it was. He was not okay with himself whatsoever. So I'm not going to hold that against him. But yeah, like in the case of Hassan, it's like, no, dude, like, and what's funny is he tries showing off the collar and be like, it's just a vibration collar. And it's like, okay, dude, you can say it's a vibration collar, but when it literally looks like one of the most popular collars you can pick up off of fucking Amazon, it looks exactly the same. And you just, all you have to do is just put something like put electrical tape or whatever, something like that over where the prongs, because the prongs are removable because they have to be, after a while, they have to be replaced. It's like, you can just remove the prongs and then put electrical tape over it and it looks, innocuous. And it's like, most vibration collars that I've seen, they're clear plastic housings.
Yeah.
Most of them.
And also, from my understanding, the vibration doesn't usually cause a dog to yelp, right? Yelping is like the dog is hurt, right? It's in pain. Vibration does not cause pain, right? Electrocution causes pain.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that, again, like, my whole thing, again, I don't care, if the dog, if it was a case of the dog got a claw stuck in the bed and it pulled and it hurt. The fact that, again, he reached for shit so fucking fast when the dog got up. Yeah. It's like, no, you're just a shitty human being.
Yes.
I also find it extremely lazy. From a training point of view.
Well, no, it's literally just he wants the dog as a prop for his stream. That's it.
Yes, I know. But it's like, why can't you just clicker train her?
And I think it's also worth noting, since Hassan is a Muslim, you know what Muslims think of dogs, don't you?
Yeah, they only, in Islam, actually, in Islam, it is completely haram for him to have a dog in the house.
Dogs are considered, like, disgusting in Islam. And so...
Not exactly. Dogs are actually viewed as work animals.
Oh.
So, like, for hunting, farming, protecting the home. They are outside. They're not considered, like, family, like how we consider our pets.
Well, I was about to say as well, isn't his dog a Mastiff?
Yes. I believe it's an Andalusian Mastiff. Oh, fair enough.
I rest my case.
Okay, why is that relevant? I don't understand.
Mastiffs are work dogs.
Ah.
They're a working breed.
And another thing to consider is being that he is somewhat affiliated with the Young Turks. Remember when the Young Turks did a massive culling of stray dogs in their territory?
Wait, what?
You're talking about the group in Turkey, not necessarily the media company in America named after the group.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the political group in Turkey, the Young Turks, they had a mass culling of stray dogs.
Yep.
Why?
The Young Turks were like a hardcore fundamentalist group. Like honestly, the Young Turks were basically the equivalent of ISIS level fundamentalism. So.
And don't tell me that he named his media company the Young Turks and it's just a coincidence. Nah, he did that shit on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't know that. Honestly, if he wants to play the whole I'm relatable, I'm a good boy thing, he's better off getting a cat because within his faith, cats are totally halal.
Yes.
Do you know why cats are halal in Islam?
Because Muhammad liked cats, and there was that one story of where like Muhammad had like one of his favorite capes or something that he was going to put on, and the cat was sleeping on it, and because the cat was sleeping on it, he chose to not take it and just let the cat sleep on it.
Yep. It said cat has a name, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a very popular story that Muslims tell their kids.
Makes sense.
But yeah, all because of your pedophile prophet was a cat dad.
Yes.
I think the cat in question's name was Muizza. Muezza.
Could be. But yeah, though I would say good luck if he did choose to get a cat and sit. Good luck getting a cat to sit still for 4 hours.
Good luck getting a cat that has earned your trust and love.
Exactly. Good luck getting a cat to do what. Good luck getting a cat to do anything the cat doesn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people like to say that we domesticated cats. Nah, cats domesticated us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they kind of did. They kind of just like wandered into areas where we were storing grain and just started eating the rats, and we were like, oh, okay. And then we started just, and then we turned them into gods.
Well, no,
Pretty
the whole
much.
God,
Similar
whole
stuff happened
God
with
thing.
wolves and how we ended up with all these dog breeds. Like, wolves just wandered into our territory and I guess either took a liking to some of us and protected us, and thus we're like, oh, friend.
Yeah.
You are friend-shaped.
You're friend-shaped.
You're not scary.
Did y'all see that little video clip of this little toddler, maybe about 3 or 4 years old? Saw this little black bear come up to her. She's like, I want to pet that dog.
That's not dog, honey.
I'd be like, the fuck you ain't.
Well, so one of the most interesting things I've heard about the whole dog domestication thing is, have you heard of this thing called Williams syndrome?
No.
All right, so Williams syndrome is a mental. It's a mental. I don't know if you can say mental illness. It's a neurological disorder that people are genetically born with, that makes people. It makes people dumb, but super super friendly and extremely good at noticing social cues, and it gives you a lot of emotional and social intelligence, but not much other intelligence. And the going theory is that we basically bred this genetic condition into wolves, and then created dogs.
How would we breed that into an animal if it only exists in humans?
It doesn't only exist in humans. I mean, it can theoretically exist in other species as well.
Well, here's also another fun fact. There's also, I forget what it is. It's some sort of neurological parasite that some cats carry.
Toxoplasmosis, I think.
Toxoplasmosis
gondii, or something.
Yeah, that can make people really fall in love with kitty cats.
Yes.
So, actually, real quick, because Dale brought it up, the thing with dogs and why we were able to domesticate, or quote unquote domesticate dogs, because remember, dogs, after 3 generations, they do go feral. Because what you end up having over the course of over history is that certain breeds of dogs end up finding their way into the human zeitgeist. Hold on. All right. Well, I was gonna give a little bit of a history lesson, and then one of the trailers had a fucking hiccup. So I'm gonna have to step away for a bit, guys. I'll talk to you later.
No worries. Talk to you later.
But yes, this Williams syndrome just sounds, I just Googled it. It sounds like just a form of neurodivergency.
Could be. But I mean, also, from my understanding, one of the traits of it is like low IQ. So it may be more like more like a Down syndrome type thing than just like a neurodivergency type thing.
Looking at photos of people with it because they have a look.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. Like you have a look.
Yes.
I can see that. And Down syndrome is a form of neurodivergency too.
Fair enough.
Talking about cats, and guess who wanted to come in?
Oh, she's like, I hear y'all talking shit.
Are you more of a
Yeah, will come in.
Are you more of a dog or a cat person, Poe?
Yes. I adore cats actually more. I mean, look at the freaking decoration or whatever they call it on Discord that I've got. But I do know a lot about dogs because my grandmother ran her schnauzers in agility, and I took agility. And she has a degree in, I believe, animal science or animal welfare. And so I've learned a lot about how dogs function, how to train them, all that fun stuff.
Very nice.
That's why I was critiquing the whole use of shock collars, and I just brought up, like, why can't you just clicker train? Because that's harmless.
Yeah.
And it's also very effective, but it's slow.
No, it's slow. It's slower than...
Yes.
Fair enough.
Are you not familiar with it?
Isn't that the one where you have, like, whenever the dog does the thing you want, you have this little thing that makes a clicking sound that you press immediately after? And...
Yeah, it's just a keychain with a button that goes click. And you could either use it as a positive or a deterrent. It's pretty popular to use the clicking sound as a positive.
Yeah. Is that because do you know if that's better or worse than, like, giving them a treat instead?
I think it's better, especially if you are dealing with a dog that may have food aggression, or you rescued an animal that is obese and you're helping the dog lose weight. Yeah, I do think clicker training is more effective, but I've never done it personally because I've always trained dogs from when they're a puppy onwards. So, and of course, What?
That sounds like the Pavlov's principle being used.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, forgive me.
The Pavlov principle, that was an experiment. I forgot what the dude's first name was, but his last name was Pavlov. He was studying behavioral activity in dogs, and one of the things that he noticed is that whenever he would feed a dog and he associated a dog getting fed with ringing a bell, and it got to the point where he could just ring a bell and the dog would automatically start salivating like it was eating.
Oh, I'm familiar with that. I just didn't know the name of the man behind it.
Mm-hmm. But you mentioned that you didn't do the that sort of clicker training because you were training dogs who are puppy. Is there like a different protocol to where if you have a dog that's just like just been born or is just like a puppy?
Yes, it's like Okay, it's like how old are you, Dale?
30.
For the sake of this argument. 30? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like a child learning how to speak English for the first time versus you trying to learn how to speak English for the first time.
Ah, fair enough.
Since the puppy, the child, is new to all this stuff, they're and their brain is still developing, they're able to pick up on things. Plus, you know, since you're new to the world, this is the only thing that you know, so you don't know about any other like languages or whatever training it is. Versus you at 30 years old, your brain is more developed, you're aware of other things existing in the world, there are other paths to take in the world, and so learning a new skill, a new trade, whatever, would be a lot harder.
I see. So
That's why a lot of trainers advise that if you want a dog and you want a dog for a specific purpose, then you're better off getting a puppy.
That's good to know.
Same with kittens. Yes, kittens can be trained. It's just different.
Yeah.
I would say Morgan's about 2 or 3 years old. No, we got him when he was a full-grown cat. He was about a year old.
Big brother.
Yes.
A while back, I had a cat that I called Gendorf, and I got him as an adult. And the only thing I managed to teach him was when I went, that means it was time to butt heads.
Fair enough.
Hey, here's one for you. You ever played headbutt with a goat?
No.
You sound like somebody who would.
He is one that would.
Yeah, well, I need a helmet first.
No, you know, you're still sticking up for it.
Maybe Stoner has Williams syndrome. Maybe the goat gave it to him.
Yeah.
Nobody heard that. Jesus.
Generally, I've seen videos of like a goat and a cow charging at each other and headbutting, and like the goat won with some strong heads.
Well, here's one for you. Have you seen this video clip out of Africa where zebras and I think it was warthogs were all feeding together, and a warthog got a little too close to a zebra, and that zebra kicked that warthog in the head so hard it made him have a seizure.
Yeah, zebras are fairly vicious creatures. They're not like horses. Don't fuck with zebras.
Hilarious how we like associate them with being these ditzy like horse adjacent animals.
Yep.
Well, you know, zebras are actually closer related to wild asses than they are horses.
Oh. Interesting.
That's how you relate to him. You walked into that one.
Shut up. Oh, yeah, also, did you see the one where a rhino airlifted a warthog?
No.
Well, long story short, it was feeding time, and a warthog got a little too close to a rhino, and that rhino literally yeeted that fucking warthog.
Maybe the warthogs have Williams syndrome.
It's possible.
Well, I don't know, but I do know that rhinos don't have the best eyesight around, and they usually attack first and ask questions later. But the funny thing is that in the zoo, rhinos are basically like giant puppies.
Huh.
Until you piss them off.
Hey, honey,
Then
want
there's
to see
hippos.
your new favorite movie?
You know, hippos actually kill more people than crocodiles.
Yep. You do not want to fuck with hippos. They will fuck your shit up.
And yet we associate them with being ditzy animals.
Yes.
Oh, hey, have you guys seen Primitive War yet?
No.
No.
I have not, no.
Mel got it for me yesterday. Watch it. It is a damn good fucking movie.
What is it?
About
Well, not to give away too many spoilers, but it's set in the Vietnam War in 1968, and the Soviets have infiltrated the country doing some weird experiments, and as a result, there are fucking dinosaurs everywhere.
Interesting.
So picture the NVA and American LERPs having to fight off carnivorous dinosaurs and figure out where the fuck those things came from to begin with.
Sounds like a fun movie.
Oh, it is. It is a great, great movie. And another good thing about it, there's no woke bullshit in it.
Nice. So now we have dinosaurs in both Vietnam and World War II. Very, very good.
World War II.
So I guess there's a video game called Dino D-Day, which is basically Think of Call of Duty if you also had dinosaurs.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why not just play Turok?
This is such a boy autism thing to do.
Yeah. Well, you can't really play it like Turok because it's not a single player game. It's a multiplayer. Actually, yeah, it's a multiplayer game only. So you have teams of you have teams of allies with their dinosaurs, and you have teams of Axis with their dinosaurs, and you fight.
I have zero interest in this thing, apparently.
I wonder if they're going to make a sequel to Godzilla -1.
Are they going to call it -2?
Hell if I know.
No, they call it Godzilla 0.
Yeah. Because basically Godzilla -1 is just a retelling of the original movie.
Why is it -1?
Because it's a retelling of the original movie.
And why not just call it Godzilla?
It's a Japanese thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, so it's a Japanese Godzilla movie.
Oh, it's fully, yeah. You is it Netflix that has it, or one of the streaming services have it?
Yeah.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Fandango at home. You can buy it on YouTube and Google TV.
More importantly, the Pirate Bay has it.
The only thing I know about that movie is apparently Godzilla keeps mutating.
That is Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, but yes, that is Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually get -0 or whatever the hell it's called. Color, black and white, Japanese, and English. And the movie is actually a lot better in black and white than it is in color.
Interesting.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did the black and white version to pay homage to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
And I truly would argue that the black and white is better.
Probably.
I don't know why. I've seen it both ways, and just hits different.
Anyways, it's been about 2 hours, so I think this is probably a good place to end off the show with tonight.
It's probably going to be a minute before we can do any more recordings going forward.
That is true.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and for our listeners who may not know, Mike by the time this airs, Mike will have had a baby. Well, not him, his girlfriend, but you know what I mean.
No, he is very pregnant.
Yes. Technically,
We
you
are
will
pregnant
have had
together.
the baby.
Are you saying he is of the fats right now?
Yes.
Yes. You
Well,
are.
no, not exactly. He's not his dad, but
Yes. You are going to be taking him, Poe, to induce labor tomorrow.
he's diet fat.
Fair
Not
enough.
on a diet and fat. He's just diet fat.
Fair enough. So yes.
Varg is the father.
So yes, with that, I think we shall end it here. See you all potentially next week, if not, maybe the week after.